the first light of dawn spilled across the Serengeti, igniting the horizon in a blaze of orange and gold. The grass swayed like an endless ocean, whispering to the wind, carrying with it the sense of dust, life, and danger. Among the countless herds that painted the plains in waves of black and white stripes, a young zebra lifted his head, ears twitching, eyes sharp and bright. His name was Eclipse, and though he looked like the others, striped in dazzling contrast of black and white, there was something in the way he carried himself, an unyielding spark that would soon set him apart. Eclipse was born beneath the thunder of hooves. His first breath had been taken amidst the chaos of migration, his mother nudging him to his feet as predators circled in the distance. From his very first moments, he had learned what it meant to live here. Every heartbeat was a chance, every sunrise a test, and every shadow a threat. But life was not only hardship. The Serengeti was a stage of majesty, where sunsets bathed the land in fire, where rivers glistened like liquid silver, and where survival itself was a song sung by all creatures in their own voices. From a young age, Eclipse felt restless. While his peers nibbled grass under the safety of the herd, he would wander just far enough to glimpse the horizon, as though some hidden destiny called to him from beyond. His mother, gentle but firm, would usher him back, whispering in the silent way of zebras, "Stay close, the world is wide, and the lions are patient." But Eclipse's eyes always sought more. One season, during the swelling heat before the rains, the herd gathered at the Grumeti River. The banks thrummed with life, wildebeests, gazelles, giraffes, all pressing forward for water. Eclipse, still barely grown, felt the unease in the air. The river smelled wrong, not of mud and reeds, but of musk and hidden malice. Then it struck. The water exploded in a spray of foam and scales. A crocodile, massive and ancient, burst forth, its jaws locking around the leg of a young foal. Panic erupted. The herd screamed in brays and whistles, hooves thrashing against mud. The foal shrieked as it was dragged toward the depths. Eclipse's heart pounded, fear scorching through him. His instinct screamed at him to run, to vanish into the safety of the herd's chaos. But something inside him snapped taut, a fire that burned brighter than fear. He surged forward, water splashing around him, his body colliding against the reptile's snout. The crocodile twisted, releasing the foal just long enough for it to scramble free. Eclipse stumbled back, gasping, his flank grazed by the creature's teeth. The river calmed, the foal lived, and though Eclipse limped back to the herd with water dripping from his mane, every eye turned toward him. In silence, they recognized something that could not be spoken. Eclipse was no ordinary zebra. That night, as the moon rose full and white over the plains, Eclipse lay beneath the stars. His wound throbbed, but his spirit was alight. He did not yet understand what he was becoming, but in the stillness of night, he felt a quiet pride. Yet the Serengeti never allowed peace to linger. Shadows moved among the grass. Lions, silent, patient, their eyes glowed amber in the moonlight. The herd shifted nervously, ears flicking, tails swishing. Eclipse's muscles tensed. He could feel the air thick with tension. Then came the attack. A lioness exploded from the grass, her body a blur of muscle and teeth. She leapt for Eclipse, choosing him, perhaps sensing the defiance within him. His body reacted before thought. He pivoted sharply, his hooves lashing backward with bone-cracking force. The strike caught her shoulder, spinning her away. The herd scattered, a storm of stripes fleeing into the night. Eclipse did not flee blindly. He turned again, standing between the lioness and his mother, his chest heaving, his eyes wide with both terror and resolve. The predator growled, her hunger thwarted, before melting back into the tall grass. When the herd regrouped, they looked not to the elders for guidance, but to Eclipse. In his youth, he had done the unthinkable. He had faced the shadows and lived. The Serengeti's wheel of time spun on. Rains came and went, rivers swelled and shrank, grass grew tall and withered under the sun. Eclipse grew as well, his body hardening with muscle, his mane thickening into a wild crest. His stripes deepened, as if survival itself had inked them darker. But with growth came challenges. Young stallions within the herd grew restless, their pride swelling. To lead meant not only to protect, but to prove. Rival males reared against Eclipse, hooves striking, teeth snapping. One by one, they tested him. Eclipse fought not with cruelty but with certainty. He did not fight for dominance alone. He fought for something greater, the safety of the herd. And so, with each clash, he rose higher, until no challenger could unseat him. He became the stallion at the heart of his herd, and in his presence, the zebras felt steadiness. When thunder rolled across the horizon, when vultures circled in the sky, when whispers of lions carried on the wind, they found comfort in Eclipse's stance, upright, resolute, unyielding. When the time came for the great migration, Eclipse led his herd north. The earth trembled beneath millions of hooves, wildebeests, gazelles, zebras, all moving as one endless tide across the savannah. Dust rose in curtains, sun glared mercilessly, rivers cut the land like scars, predators followed like shadows, lions picked at the stragglers, hyenas harried the weak, crocodiles lined the crossings, yet Eclipse pressed forward, guiding his herd through peril after peril. He was tireless, though his legs burned and his chest ached. Each step was not for himself, but for the countless lives that depended on him. At last, they reached the Mara River. The waters roared, swollen with rain, teeming with death. The herd hesitated, hooves trembling on the muddy bank. To enter was to gamble with life itself. Eclipse stepped forward. He did not hesitate. With a piercing cry, he leaped into the torrent, his stripes flashing like lightning across the waves. Behind him, the herd surged, a storm of black and white, defying the jaws below. Crocodiles lunged, teeth snapping, but Eclipse pressed through, striking out with furious kicks. The current dragged, the waters churned, but he rose again and again, until his hooves struck solid earth on the far side. The herd emerged behind him, battered but alive. Eclipse stood on the bank, water streaming from his coat, chest heaving. He lifted his head high, eyes blazing with triumph. In that moment, he was no longer just a zebra. He was the living rhythm of survival, the pulse of hope in a land where life and death danced endlessly. Years passed, and Eclipse's legend spread. His herd thrived under his watch. Foals grew strong, mares found safety, and rivals learned respect. His mane grew streaked with gray. His body bore the scars of battles fought and won, but his spirit never dimmed. One evening, as the sun bled red into the horizon, Eclipse stood atop a rise, gazing over the Serengeti. The wind carried the scent of grass, dust, and fare of rain. Around him, his herd grazed peacefully, their stripes shimmering in the fading light. He closed his eyes, listening to the rhythm of their hearts, the soft murmur of life that he had protected time and again. He thought of the foal saved from the river, the herd guided across the Mara, the nights when lions' eyes glowed in the grass but turned away in defeat. He thought of his mother, long gone, who had once told him to stay close. He had not only stayed, he had become the one others stayed close to. And as darkness fell, Eclipse brayed softly, a call not of fear, but of triumph. His life was not just survival, it was proof that even in a land ruled by teeth and shadow, courage and unity could carve a legacy eternal as the stripes upon his skin. The Serengeti night swallowed the horizon, stars blossoming like fireflies in the heavens, and somewhere in the rustling grass, predators stirred, rivers flowed, winds whispered. But above it all, the story of Eclipse ran on, carried in every hoofbeat, etched in every life he had touched. For he was not just Eclipse the zebra, he was the guardian of the herd, the symbol of resilience, the echo of hope upon the endless plains, and his legend would outlive the dawn.